Now on Nightside, people in Coeur d'Alene are voting tonight on a $25 million school levy that will determine the fates of 4 public schools. We have those results.
The thunderstorms have tapered off for now, but don't be surprised if you're rumbled awake tonight. I'll have your first alert forecast.
Windows exploded and black smoke poured out of a 4-story apartment building in downtown Portland today. You're watching 4 News Now Nightside. We start with breaking news tonight. Millions of dollars and hundreds of jobs on the line. Voters will decide the fate of Coeur d'Alene and Lakeland school districts. Good evening. I'm Aaron Luna.
And I'm Kirsten O'Connor. Now, voters rejected supplemental levies in both of those votes recently, and we are still waiting on those votes to be counted right now. This is how the $25 million Coeur d'Alene supplemental levy is looking right now. If you take a look at your screen, nearly 14,000 votes have come in favor, and that's nearly 66%. 7,100 have voted against. That is 34% at this hour. In the Lakeland School District, the supplemental levy had more than 2,500 votes in favor for almost 59%. The plant facility levy, more than 2,500 have voted in favor, nearly 60%, needs 55% to pass, and we will continue to monitor it through the night. Rania Kaur has been tracking the votes so far. Rania.
Well, since that initial, all of the levies failed in March, there were shockwaves that were sent across both Coeur d'Alene and the Lakeland school districts. Since those shockwaves in March, there's been a push on both sides to get their votes counted. Because of the push, when I spoke to the Kootenai County clerk earlier today, she told me they expected a larger voter turnout today. In March, only 28% of registered voters in Kootenai County came out to vote today, and votes are still being counted. Over 2,500 more registered voters voted today. Voter turnout is at 30% right now. Regardless of the outcome of the levies, both the Coeur d'Alene School Board and the Lakeland School Board are meeting tomorrow to address the levy. If the levy passes, Coeur d'Alene Public Schools will take back the financial emergency declaration they made a month ago. If the levy fails, they'll finalize the reduction in force plan and decide to approve the notices to the teachers and staff being let go. The Lakeland School Board will be addressing the levy in their budget workshop at tomorrow's meeting. We'll continue to keep you updated on the results and the outcomes starting tomorrow on Good Morning Northwest. In studio, Rania Kaur, 4 News Now.
Rania, thank you. New on Nightside, the battle over the Liberty Lake Library took center stage at the City Council meeting tonight. The council approved with a 4-3 vote an ordinance to appoint a City Council member to attend Library Board of Trustee meetings as an observer. It also allows the council to individually approve or reject all current library policies, retroactive to each of the latest adopted versions currently in place as of February 21st, 2023, along with any new or revised policy from this date forward with a simple majority vote. It also directs the council to confirm or deny any book bans by the Board of Trustees, but not initiate a ban, and that the City Council's decision will be final. Governor Jay Inslee signed a new drug possession bill into law.
Lawmakers came together to tackle the state's drug possession law that's set to expire July 1st. The new bill is aimed to help more people who are facing drug addiction by adding nearly $20 million in recovery centers and youth services. Spokane Senator Andy Billing says it will bring a positive difference for many families who are suffering because of drugs.
It's important to know that this is a bill that's treatment centered. Addiction is a health disorder. And so it makes sense that you would have a treatment focused response to a health disorder. But at the same time, we need the criminal justice system involved. And that's the case with this bill as well.
The new bill would make illegal drug possession and public drug use gross misdemeanors, with the maximum jail time for the first offense and second conviction up to 180 days. A third arrest could mean up to 364 days in jail. The new bill would limit the fine to up to $1,000. The law goes into effect July 1st.
The body pulled from the Spokane River last week has been identified as 20-year-old Joseph Kamau. We first told you about Kamau's disappearance from his home near Gonzaga University in early March. His family told us they were concerned about his disappearance because he left personal items in his apartment. The medical examiner has not released the cause of his death. Well, storms are making their way across the inland Northwest, kind of spread out right now.
Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker to tell us when we may be hearing those rumbles of thunder.
Well, let's take a look at our satellite and radar. And it's pretty quiet over eastern Washington and North Idaho with some thunderstorms in western Montana. But we are watching a disturbance rotating through the region that may be the touch point for some additional thunderstorm development as we get into the overnight. Here's our forecast radar, and we see those showers and thunderstorms on a fairly isolated basis overnight, but they're still there. Here's 8 o'clock tomorrow morning with some showers through the central panhandle and around the Omak area. We get a little bit of a break during the noon hour. We start to see those showers and isolated thunderstorms redevelop. It's going to be an afternoon, very much like what we've seen the past few, where in the heat and instability of the day, we see those storms redeveloping. By 8 o'clock tomorrow evening, we are quiet again. Here is your Wednesday planner. 68 is our average high. We're looking at high temperatures right around 80 degrees. Partly cloudy skies the first part of the day with showers and possible thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. 4 things to know about your weather: more thunderstorms possible after midnight, more storms on the way Wednesday, and that record heat still on the way for the weekend. Your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes, Aaron.
Thank you, Chris. New on Nightside, black smoke poured out of a 4-story apartment building in downtown Portland today as firefighters worked to rescue more than a dozen people and at least 2 dogs. Windows exploded as the fire ripped through, and firefighters worried the building could collapse. The cause of the fire is still unknown, but it looks like it started on the 3rd floor and worked its way up to the 4th. Damian Warren just moved to the building last month from San Francisco.
Everything I own is all gone, so I finally just decided to get a new place all to myself, and now it's all in flames.
The apartments were built in 1910 and had about 60 units. The American Red Cross says it's working to arrange shelter for the victims. An assistant professor at North Idaho College is in jail accused of battery.
Zachary Schallbetter teaches web and graphic design at North Idaho College. He was booked into the Kootenai County Jail a little after 1 o'clock this afternoon. And according to a jail roster, North Idaho College trustee Todd Banducci made it a citizen arrest on Schallbetter. Schallbetter faces charges including battery and malicious injury to property. Both carry a $300 bond each. So we've left messages with Banducci, Coeur d'Alene Police, and North Idaho College to get more information.
A shootout captured on video in Seattle's Central District around 11:30 on Friday night. A loud fight was followed by gunfire. Cars parked on the street are filled with bullet holes and flat tires. The area has been the scene of a crime more than once. Police report in Seattle the number of shootings jumped last year. Neighbors like Kate Falconer say that Central District needs more welcoming, safe spaces for young people, more mental health resources, and more police patrols in the area.
It shouldn't take someone getting killed for everyone to pay attention, and I'm glad that this shooting is getting attention.
Some Good Samaritans helped thwart a vehicle theft yesterday near Olympia, Washington.
That stolen vehicle had 2 children inside. Jeffrey Alderton says he was making his way back from the scrapyard this morning when his friend Robert Olson scanned bulletins of police activity on social media, and they found a bulletin. Police were looking for a stolen minivan. 2 young children were sleeping inside that van, and as the 2 men were reading that post, they saw a van matching the police description parked at a gas station.
Whether I'm putting my life at danger, at least I'm saving those kids.
Well, after a chase, the alleged kidnapper was taken into custody. Alderton and Olson say they're both fathers, and they knew they had to act to get those kids back home.
Seen the van over there at the 76 station, and I pulled in there, and my truck, I looked in the window, and I seen the 2 kids, and I said, yep. I said, call 911. When the guy see me pull beside the truck, he was going to come back to the van, but then I pulled away, so I went in, paid for gas, and we called the police, and we waited.
Police say the children were unharmed.
A missing girl is back home with her father 6 years after she went missing, thanks to the Netflix reboot of Unsolved Mysteries. Store employees spotted Kayla Unbehan in Asheville, North Carolina. They recognized her thanks to media coverage of her disappearance. Kayla's non-custodial mother, Heather Unbehan, is charged with abducting her from the Chicago area when she was 9 years old. Bond is set at $250,000, and the 40-year-old faces extradition to Illinois. Kayla's father says he's overjoyed and grateful to everyone who helped bring his daughter home.
It's time for a look at First Sports. I'm Julian Minnesone. A new pro sports team is coming to the Inland Northwest. The USL Super League announced Spokane as one of 8 cities that will make up the new professional women's soccer league. The league is set to start in August 2024 and intends to launch as a Division I league, which will put it in direct competition with the NWSL. The club will play at the new downtown stadium right across the street from us here at 4 News Now. And along with Spokane, the other cities include Charlotte, Dallas-Fort Worth, Lexington, Kentucky, Phoenix, Tampa, Tucson, Arizona, and Washington, D.C. And more cities will be added soon to that list of teams. Live in the studio, Julian Minnesone, 4 News Now Sports.
Julian, thank you. If you're headed out on I-90 later tonight or tomorrow morning, expect some delays between Spokane Valley and Liberty Lake. Crews are working on the new Kramer Parkway undercrossing, and one lane will be closed at a time until 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. Then lanes will close again tomorrow night on the westbound side.
Make-A-Wish made a young cancer patient's dream come true twice. A heartwarming look at how she's beating the odds and her determination to become more than just a diagnosis.
Plus, the surprising numbers that reveal how many women struggle with their mental health and why the support of other women is so essential. That's next on Nightside.
4 News Now on your time with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
4 News Now is brought to you by Ace Hardware.
McVeigh Brothers is the only 5-star certified select shingle master contractor in the Inland Northwest. We also have great financing options like no money down and up to 12 years low interest financing. At McVeigh Brothers, we're always working for you.
It's just a penny. Alone, it cannot change the world. But when a community starts putting them together, something special starts to happen. And these little pennies turn into something different. Hope. Join us Saturday, May 20th for the 27th Annual Joya Penny Drive from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at any of our locations. Thank you, Spokane, for your support. A lot of people giving a little makes a big impact.
Meet 3 students, all learning to save and spend their money with Chase. Freedom for kids? Thank you, chef. Control for parents? Nice. One bank for both. Chase, make more of what's yours.
It's the biggest used vehicle sale to hit the Spokane area in years this week at the Spokane Valley Mall. As up to 400 vehicles are marked down and priced to sell fast, with top dollar given for your trade-ins this week at the Spokane Valley Mall.
I'm Chad Young from the Easy Home Buyer, and I pay cash for houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast for cash, call us today for your no-obligation as-is cash offer. We buy houses in any condition, and there are no fees, no commissions, and no repairs. We buy houses with tenants, fixer-uppers, bare land, even haunted houses. Woo! Call us today or visit us online at theeasyhomebuyer.com.
Pick up the phone to inquire. Call the Easy Home Buyer.
This is going to be a lot of fun.
He's got the stars.
Yeah.
The studs.
I don't remember a time in my life I didn't watch his show.
And the unexpected.
I've always thought of you as Dave Jr.
Every hair on my body is standing up right now.
Jimmy Kimmel Live, weeknights on ABC.
4 News Now is brought to you by Heritage Funeral and Cremation.
It's true. I don't need nobody else. I want you all to myself.
Last year, Make-A-Wish granted one girl's dream to become a recording artist. Now they're giving Destiny a private release party at the Palms Casino Resort in Nevada.
Doctors write the prescription for medicine, but we at Make-A-Wish, we write the prescription for hope. And that's really what today is about. It's Destiny showing us exactly that cancer doesn't define her, it's who she's going to be.
Destiny sang 2 of her songs on stage to an audience full of friends, family, and some Make-A-Wish team members. She also got her very own red carpet arrival and a private limo, of course.
Of course, how lovely. Here is your forecast tonight. We do still have a chance of thunderstorms on a very isolated basis. Some showers possible as well. You may wake up with a wet deck. 58 degrees for an overnight low. For tomorrow, the chance of showers and thunderstorms returning in the afternoon with a high temperature of 81. And then we're going to take a break from that afternoon convection, at least in the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area for a few days. Here's our chance of rain tomorrow. It's low through the morning and then up a little bit, 20%, 10, 12 o'clock. After 2 o'clock, that's when our odds really increase. The usual time when we get into that heat of the day and things get unstable, but there is still at least a slight chance even in the mid-morning. Overnight lows tonight, fairly warm, feels a little muggy. We're not cooling down very efficiently. We'll be in the 50s and 60s for lows. High temperatures tomorrow in the 80s and 90s, 81 in Spokane, 84 in Coeur d'Alene, 90 degrees in Lewiston, and 91 in both Omak and Grand Coulee. Here's a look at your planning forecast. We are done with the showers and thunderstorms on Thursday. Sunshine, 86, record heat on Friday and Saturday. Both of those temperatures are records. A slight chance of thunderstorms on Sunday, as well as some cooler weather coming for the beginning of next week. But those 70s are still between 5 and 10 degrees above average.
That is quite the roller coaster of emotions as well as temperature.
Yeah, there will be some emotions, yes.
And if you missed Chris earlier today, it's because she was out doing some very important stuff, emceeing the Women Helping Women fundraising event.
And Chris, during that event, the foundation released a report that was actually quite disturbing about the state of women and girls in Spokane County.
Yes, important information, and it shows why fundraising events like today's are so important to help women and girls in our community. Here's a quick snapshot of that report. 19% of children under 5 live below the poverty level in the Spokane area. Women who struggled with poor mental health doubled from 2015 to 2020. Moms were twice as likely as dads to have poor mental health. In 2021, 29% of girls and 12% of boys said they seriously considered suicide. I talked with today's keynote speaker, Shiza Shahid, about the importance of working to change these situations.
I know that when women are empowered to lead, to get educated, to build businesses, to work, to give, we have a fundamentally better world.
Shiza helped found the Malala Fund with Nobel Peace Prize winner Malala Yousafzai. She is now building a cookware brand called Our Place. That's goal is to bring people together through home cooking.
And we've been looking at the website, the company's website, which is called FromOurPlace.com. And on there, she has a quote, and if you don't mind, I'm just going to read it. It says, "Sharing a home-cooked meal is sharing our stories. There is a transformative power in uplifting the differences in how people cook and eat together."
Well, sharing a meal with friends and family can help people dealing with tough situations.
Yes, and a lot of the nonprofits that Women Helping Women Fund work around that. Meanwhile, the stats about women and children in Spokane County, we're going to be digging into those and bringing everyone stories that will hopefully make a difference in our community with that data.
Looking forward to that. Chris, thank you.
Well, many children, especially teens, are struggling with end of the year, school year anxiety, worry about their futures. Amy Higgins, a mental health therapist and social worker at Multicare, is seeing about 50 patients right now. Most of them are high school students, and more than half say they're struggling. As your student prepares to tackle finals, talk about their missing work or late assignments and anything that they are behind on. Parents can help their teens finish off the year strong by being patient and opening up conversations about what they may need help with in their schoolwork.
Talk about things. Don't correct them. Don't say you should, you need to. Just open up conversation and say, is there anything you need extra help with? Or is there anything you're struggling with at school? And be there to help them. That's the key.
And you'll also want to make sure your student study area is a quiet place with very few distractions. Higgins actually says the bedroom is the worst place to study, so maybe try the library as an alternative.
More people are diagnosed with chronic pain each year than diabetes and depression combined. Coming up, how early treatment of chronic pain can help America's opioid epidemic. You're watching 4 News Now Nightside.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team at Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on the next task. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. 4 News Now Extreme Team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
Water is an essential part of our everyday lives. It's important that Spokane acts wisely to preserve our precious water resources and not waste money on evaporation and the need for supplemental water infrastructure due to a burdened aquifer. Please avoid watering your lawn between the hours of 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. and limit watering to under 2 hours a day, 3 days a week. If we all do our part, we'll keep our river flowing strong, even in times of drought.
Give your day a little Kelly.
Watch Kelly weekdays at 4.
The Move Fitness gyms are on the move with a new location opening soon, giving you more reasons to join now and be the best you can be in 2023. Move Fitness.
You know, at first I was shocked when I won this Porsche Macan from Northern Quest, but then I realized someone had to win. Why not me? Life is crazy. Heck, it's gotten to the point where nothing surprises me. Hey, beer me.
You could win a brand new Porsche Macan, only in Northern Quest.
Did you know that Banner Furnace and Fuel is a locally owned propane company? That's important because it means consistent pricing. No games, no gimmicks, and no hidden fees. You can relax knowing that a propane quote from Banner is what shows up on your bill. No hazmat fee and no delivery fee. That's why people really trust Banner. So go ahead, compare your winter heat bill, and then call Banner for your propane quote. Banner Furnace and Fuel, locally owned for over 90 years.
4 News Now is brought to you by Washington's Lottery and Hit 5.
Thanks for staying up with Nightside. A 15-year-old Missouri student has been suspended for recording her geometry teacher after he started using the N-word in the classroom.
Is the word not allowed? I'm not calling anyone. I understand. I can say the word.
The teacher was initially placed on administrative leave, then he resigned. The principal called the language inappropriate and inexcusable, but the student was also punished under the school's cell phone rules prohibiting, quote, recording of faculty or staff in the classroom without prior approval, as well as recording, quote, acts of violence. Her lawyers have asked for a removal of the suspension and an apology, claiming the policy is problematic and has a chilling effect on students trying to hold authority figures accountable. A similar circumstance happened here in Spokane last November. A public school teacher used the N-word in class, then tried to justify its use because of the way she said it, but her students didn't let it slide.
I said it with a soft end, like how you greet, right? Yeah. And they all got to say it. And I didn't use the hard R. Because in one of my other classes, we said them out loud.
No, you just can't say it. You said it. That was unnecessary to say it.
In a special report, I spoke to the school district, parents, and the head of the Spokane NAACP chapter. You can find it. It's on our website, KXLY.com. New on Nightside, you've probably experienced some form of chronic pain in your lifetime.
And it turns out more Americans suffer from chronic pain than diabetes, depression, and high blood pressure combined. That's according to a new study in the Journal of American Medical Association. Chronic pain is defined as having pain on most days or every day over 3 months. Researchers from the University of Washington say they looked at data from more than 10,000 people over a 2-year period. And according to the study, the links between chronic pain and the country's opioid epidemic underscore the urgency to understand and address the issue of pain. Researchers say early intervention can make a significant difference in the toll that the condition takes on a person.
Oh, and that low pressure makes that chronic pain flare up. I know that to be a fact. You can tell when the storms are coming. And on our time lapse, they never really did make it into downtown. You may have had some showers at your house. You may have had a downpour at your house. I did at mine, but right here at 4 News Now today, it was dry. You could see the showers off in the background. And that's going to be the case again tomorrow. Hit and miss showers. They they may or may not land where you are, but if you live in the mountainous areas, the odds are much better. Here's a look at our forecast. We have a northerly flow over the region that does favor showers and thunderstorms over the mountains of northeast Washington and North Idaho, and those storms do have a tendency to drift into Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, and they will reemerge as we get into Wednesday afternoon. By this time Wednesday, we're going to start drying out more substantially and staying dry through at least the first part of the weekend. We also have a warming trend heading into the weekend, up to 92 degrees on Saturday. Then we start cooling down, but just even at the bottom of this temperature trend at 75, we are still well above average. This white line here is average. I don't see any sign of below average temperatures coming for the rest of the month. Beautiful pick of the night. Boy, this one takes my breath away. All the purple. Lilacs, my favorite flower. This is from our good friend Rebecca Bozo in Hope, Idaho. She captured this image. The lilacs are blooming in Hope, and the butterflies are enjoying them as well. Thank you so much, Rebecca, for the beautiful pick of the night. Kirsten?
That has to be my next stop, Hope, Idaho. Beautiful. Well, one of the best basketball players in the nation is heading to Washington State next season. We have the latest coming up in sports.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Tin Roof.
The hit series returns on ABC.
Everybody standing before us all carries the same secret.
These celeb relatives.
You are each related to a celebrity.
Step out of the shadows.
You must do whatever it takes to uncover everyone else's identity.
And into the spotlight.
Jane's really good at lying.
They haven't shared any clues with you.
You can't trust anybody here.
The tension in the house tonight is high.
She's screaming, she's screaming, she's screaming, she's screaming.
Claim to Fame premieres June 26th on ABC and stream on Hulu.
I had a lot of bad days with gout, but that one took the wedding cake. Even with medicine, my uric acid was still too high to stop painful gout buildup. Then a gout specialist told me about Krystexxa.
Krystexxa is a prescription medicine for adults with gout whose symptoms are not controlled by other gout medicines.
I learned Krystexxa quickly starts working to break down gout buildup.
Krystexxa is an infused medicine. Serious life-threatening allergic reactions can occur while taking Krystexxa. Tell your doctor right away if you have symptoms such as shortness of breath, trouble breathing, dizziness, itching, or swelling of the throat or tongue. Krystexxa is not recommended if you have high levels of uric acid without a history of gout. Do not take Krystexxa if you have a rare disorder called G6PD deficiency or favism. Before receiving Krystexxa, tell your doctor if you have a history of heart problems and all the medicines you take. Krystexxa may cause gout flare-ups, allergic reactions, nausea, bruising, sore throat, constipation, chest pain, and vomiting.
I received Krystexxa for about 6 months. Now I'm in control, not gout.
Find a doctor who specializes in gout at goutdocnow.com.
Unleash your spring adventure by scoring a great rate on a Northwest Motorsport rig. Check out the best selection of lifted trucks, diesel trucks, and adventure-ready SUVs at nwmsrocks.com. Power up your spring journey with Northwest Motorsport.
Can compassion fight crime? 4 News Now rides along with a special unit of Spokane Police. The job? To find safe solutions for people in crisis. But is this approach actually protecting our community? Watch my special report Thursday, only on 4 News Now at 6.
Well, the Elite Eight rematch is set. Gonzaga will have a chance at revenge. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Minnesota. Gonzaga will take on the UConn Huskies in a multi-year series starting next season. According to college basketball insider John Rothstein, the Bulldogs and Huskies will play at Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle next year. Gonzaga will then travel to New York to play UConn at Madison Square Garden in the 2024-25 season. The Zags and Huskies met in that Elite Eight matchup of this year's NCAA tournament. UConn defeated Gonzaga 82-54 on their way to a national championship. And the Bulldogs are scheduled to play Kentucky and Washington in that non-conference part of the schedule. It's going to be very tough next season. Gonzaga is also participating in the Maui Gym Classic that includes Kansas, Marquette, Purdue, and UCLA. Gonzaga's Drew Timme and Julian Strother are competing at the NBA Combine this week. Timme finished in the top 10 in a number of drills today, including the 3/4 court sprint, and he shot 12 of 15 from three-point range. Strother is a projected second-round pick. Washington State's Mohamed Gay is also taking part in the Combine. The Combine runs until Thursday in Chicago.
Former Idaho Vandals star Beyonce B is transferring to Washington State. She was one of the most coveted players in the transfer portal this offseason. B was 6th in the nation in scoring at 22 points a game. She also led the Vandals in blocks. B joins a Washington State team that won the Pac-12 tournament championship for the first time in school history this past season. And Hockey Mania is alive and well in the Northwest. It started with the Seattle Kraken in their season, and now with the Spokane Chiefs. The Chiefs introduced their two newest players today, Brody Gillespie and Mathis Preston. Gillespie was the first pick in the WHL U.S. Priority Draft. He's from Vancouver, Washington, and played last season with Rink Hockey Academy in Kelowna, where he was the 3rd highest scorer on the team. Preston was the 3rd overall pick in the WHL Prospects Draft. He played for the Okanagan Hockey Academy, where he earned the Prep Division MVP award in the Canadian Sports School Hockey League. Gillespie and Preston both had dreams of playing in the WHL, and now that dream has come true in Spokane.
I love the way they just believe in me and think I can do whatever I want to do, so it's just super exciting. It's just unreal. It's just a dream come true. I've been dreaming of this since the day I started playing hockey.
Fans here are just insane. You know, you've seen photos and videos of when a team scores in the U.S. It's pretty cool. You know the rink just erupts and it's electric. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Gillespie and Preston are eligible to join the Chiefs as full-time players in 2024-25. And after winning last night, the Seattle Mariners taking on the Boston Red Sox in Game 2 from Fenway Park. Mariners down 4-0 when Teoscar Hernandez skips this one past Jarren Duran in center field. That scores a pair of runs, and suddenly the Mariners are in business. Same inning now. Taylor Trammell at the plate for Seattle, and Trammell ties the game with one swing of the bat. This one wraps around Pesky's pole and right. It's Trammell's 3rd home run of the season, and all of a sudden it's a brand new ball game. Now check out this next play here. Very interesting. Boston's Reese McGuire is at the plate. McGuire hits one to Seattle's Ty France at first base. France picks it up and gets the out at first. Now it seems routine, but look again at the replay. The ball was hit by McGuire so hard that it actually knocked off France's glove, right off his hand, but the ball stayed in the glove. France then picked it up, walked over the first for the out. Don't see that every day, but the Mariners will take it. What they won't take is this right here. Montesaka Yoshida hits one into right, ground rule double. Boston takes the lead, and they would ultimately win this game 9-4. Final game of the series is tomorrow at 4:10. And that'll wrap us up for sports.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
If your checking account isn't earning you money, it's time to switch to bonus checking from Numerica. The account that earns an incredible 2% annual percentage yield. That could earn you up to $500 every year or more.
For over 65 years, McVeigh Brothers has been on the cutting edge of the newest technologically advanced products sold. We're now offering triple pane windows, custom colored windows of your choice, and amazing mini blinds between the glass that will last a lifetime.
Finally, gardens are growing, flowers are blooming, and the Celebrate Spring event at Jacobs Custom Living continues. New furniture has arrived, and Jacobs really has the largest and most varied inventory ever. Comfortable lounge furniture, elegant outdoor dining sets, umbrellas, and much more. Take it home today if you're ready, or get free storage for a limited time. Special spring clearance pricing on select items throughout the store. Come celebrate spring at Jacobs Custom Living on Sprague, just east of Sullivan in the Spokane Valley.
Spokane and North Idaho's country leader.
It goes like one margarita.
Bluebird in my heart.
Baby, you're playing hard to forget.
The big 99.9 Coyote Country.
You filming?
Yep.
Try rolling your wrist, dude.
You gotta focus on balance.
You should switch to sledding. I'm gonna block him. Good idea.
Don't forget stick work. Hustle's paying off.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
That's all the time we have for Nightside.
It's been a nice night. We were lucky at my house. I know Chris got a downpour.
I got some rain too.
Did you?
Just in the morning though.
Yeah.
Kind of woke up to a little pitter patter.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy.
Flowers need it.